Right, today is raising funds for world domination, day number 230. Although you can't tell because YouTube completely changed their live streaming UI tonight. So I tried to, I basically just have like part of the live stream window that's usually up over there that puts the title, but I had it there just when it started, but it was cut off. I thought about like inspect elementing it, but I guess it doesn't render at all. It switched the view to analytics tab, I guess. It does have the title down here, but I like being able to see the concurrent viewers. There's just not enough space. I need like a better UI to present everything on. Anyway, Orthoplex 64, how's it going? Cybernetic logos. Axel Hyberg Gwen. It's all about the financing. That's the real sticking point. But you know, I think any day now we're gonna get one big generous donor who's gonna send a really, really big super chat, and then that'll get us rolling. Optimal window placement is constant struggle. Yeah, it's I actually had it was placed pretty good, but I guess when I go live, I guess I'll have to take a look at it. I don't know. My guess is they'll probably change it a few more times over the next few days. I'll figure out something because this is not really the greatest. Howdy, Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad to you too. What's up? Not too much. Today, there's once again no updates on any of these items, which is great. Today was a productive day. Did a bunch of video stuff. And there's a new video scheduled to go out on the 12th. I'm MMOifying. My Colorado land for Roseleaf Village. I don't even know what that means. An MMO world with an IRL replica created by robots. Sell 20k houses on my property. Advertised by MMO. Oh, okay. This is so this is like a vision for. I've got some land and want to build some like IRL robots. I do think there's I mean, if I had lots more money, I think there is some interesting innovation you could do with like some combination of live interactive content where people can, I don't know, have like a fusion of like media, entertainment, but also like manufacturing and work. Like if you could hire entertaining people to like work in a machine shop and just like talk to live stream chat all day about stuff, and they make things while they're working and talk about it. And then also you can go to like first person view of like moving robots around, or like even I mean this has probably been tried, like something where you just have a robot and you pay money, you do a super chat, and that'll like move the robot in a certain direction, or there's like the whole point of live streaming is it's the interactability of the content. That's what the real hook is. But of course there's people who've done that on small scale, and it has I don't know, the distribution is also, it's not really under your control. I mean, no, having done this, it's like I think the number of I don't know, average concurrent viewers for me has been like it's gone up and down a bit, but it's still basically what it was. Robot manufacturing is probably going to be more mainstream industry in 30 years. Yeah, maybe if we bring back manufacturing. But then again, there's a lot of like if you actually want to set up a machine shop or something, like there's tons and tons of like the professional machine shop, machine working equipment, and you can buy it basically for the price of scrap metal, because everyone's getting out of the business because it's all being sent off to China and automated and stuff. Even though we want to bring it back, but it's not economic. Whole village of people like that. Yeah, that'd be neat. Terraforming robots at the start. Yeah, I mean it's fun to imagine, but it's life is short. It takes a long time to build stuff, to get like economic viability of it, and build a business model, and find the right people, and then there's people with personality conflicts, and nearly ported Hack Matrix to Wayland. Nice. I don't really even know much about Wayland internally. I just know it's been the new thing that Ubuntu is trying to go to, and my stuff always doesn't work on it, so I have to like fall back to something else. But I don't know if it's like, actually I honestly don't even know exactly what Wayland is. There's X, and then there's Wayland, and then there's X Wayland. And to be honest, I kind of don't even want to know. It's such a boring thing. I just want my Windows to work. Okay. So yesterday I completed some changes. Oh yeah, I also merged in all of these changes to make sure that they work. The character itself in the game is now a block in the game, and so it looks the same. I guess the difference is it's a bit jumpy, and that's because it's doing like way more. It's no longer just an overlay. It's actually like sending block updates to update the position of the player every single time. In the future, I'm going to have to kind of fix the transaction model, because right now it says like, okay, change this block to something else, and it sends that, and then the server processes that as fast as possible, and there's no ticks or anything. Eventually I need to make that work with an actual tick model. I guess today, maybe I could think about how I'm going to update the client so that I can have connections to the multiple worlds. So I guess I guess the generalization of this that I have to think about is, what does this look like when there's no world connections? Yeah, I think I'm going to have to actually add a bunch of I'm going to have to add a worker thread for each connection, or like things like the chunk initializing. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah. So this thing. So there can only be one of this thread. Oh, wait. Oh yeah. So there can only be one of this thread running at once. So in this case, it has a reference to the client block model context, but actually there could potentially be multiple clients. There's not just one, or there could be zero. Wouldn't mind working from home. Get a lot done, but I'm wearing hoodie and sweatpants. Yeah, it definitely saves you on. Are you currently work in the office, I assume? It's crazy. Some people spend like 4 hours a day commuting, which is such an insane percentage of your life spent. Maybe we should try getting a job. Who should? Me or PC Steve V2C? In the office 5 days a week. Luckily, only 15-minute drive. And you'll get it shorter. That's good. Commuting's rough. I had when I was in Toronto, I think I had this is back in like 2011. I think I had like an hour-long commute each way, and then sometimes it was longer too because the subway would shut down. And there was I remember there was one day where all of the subway trains just like went to the next station, and then they're just like, all right, we're done, everybody off. And then like thousands of people just went onto the street because they I don't know, track was broke or something. Shouldn't be complaining. Like he'd live close. You can always wish for a better world. Okay, let's think about where these are launched. I guess I could start by thinking, oh boy, it's going to be so much work. I could think about what it looks like when there's no connections, no world connections. Because I should probably just pull in some of the the multiplayer code to make it easier to test this. So I was thinking about having one of these for every client, which would work. But that won't work for the console writer or the signal handling thread. Just started to work in October. Accounting is a very independent-based job. Have to battle it. Starting out was learning the firm software. How all the schedules connect with each other. Okay, so you're in accounting, not software engineering. I guess it's interesting. YouTube really seems to pull in viewers based on what you published, content based on last. I guess since some of my most recent videos are like very business based, they're it used to be mostly software people, but that's good. I kind of it'd be nice to have an audience of people that's well rounded into. We need more like entrepreneurially minded tech people. I had a roommate who was did accounting. Actually, that was the same term. I was in Toronto. I lived in it was in a house there was 8 people living in the house, and there was this one guy that was he did accounting, and they basically just took advantage of him and got him to work like 12, 14 hours days as an intern. Paid him low wages. I'm just a random person. Can you please explain to me who you are? I am a software developer. Content related to software development. That's what I want to do. Although I guess I branched out a bit. I will demo for you what I'm working on right now, which is a terminal-based video game where you can simulate the process of mining blocks of iron ore in an infinite, procedurally generated universe. And right now I'm thinking about how to modify the code to maybe support multiplayer. So here I am, wandering around. So we'll mine some of this wood up here. And you can go over here to the crafting menu, make a stone pick. Go back to the map, press the M. Oh, look at that. Empty block. Gotta be cast. Yeah, I made some changes recently, and I guess I broke stuff. Oh, that's probably because I need to update the algorithm for when you mine out to a certain radius. I'm the goat. That's true. Robert, how's it going? It's going pretty good. How are you? A bachelor's in accounting, debated on going to cybersecurity. Out of school, opted for business instead. So you can do a lot of different business-related jobs with an accounting major. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Like, the world is really in flux right now. I don't know what is the right advice. Cybersecurity is probably very crowded. I would say like if someone told me, if someone walks up to me and says, I'm a certified accountant, and they're not lying, they have like an actual real accounting certification, the probability that that person will make a lot of money and their skill is going to be like needed and valuable, I think is much higher than if someone just says, I'm a cybersecurity expert, because cybersecurity is not like a specific regulated profession. Like a random company can hire a cybersecurity firm to do cybersecurity stuff, audits and things, and it'd just be like snake oil people. But also it could be the complete opposite, so you can have world-class experts. And I would assume that the way the industry is, there's a very high percentage of just people that have no idea what they're doing and call themselves, cybersecurity professionals. And so that also makes it, I think that's also like an underrated problem in the economy right now, is there's so many clueless, unskilled job seekers, but there's clueless employers who have no idea how to even screen people for the jobs. I'm planning a solo trip to Las Vegas. Just booked the plane tickets. Shaken, never done this before. Nice, you're going on an adventure. Parents are worried about me for doing this. One other thing, I have final round job interview coming up. Solo trip to Los Angeles. Yeah, I think I've never been to Los Angeles, but I think the area is, from what I understand, it's like, I think it's very varied. Like there's areas where there's like, homeless encampments and stuff like that, and then there's other areas that are like super safe, touristy areas and stuff like that. So I guess it probably, the degree to which worrying is necessary probably depends on where you're going. I guess you'll probably have fun if you have a good vision for where you're going down there, what you want to get out of it. Jensen Huang says we should all just go be plumbers, be grateful. I don't know, if all the other stuff gets automated, then I think we may even automate plumbing. But also I think, to be honest, I think he's kind of playing like a hype game. Kind of like, where Elon Musk says like, oh yeah, we're going to have full self-driving in 2 weeks. And then they never do. Or he makes these, bold predictions and they don't come true. But like think about it this way. If you're Jensen, like if there's some, plausible case to say, if you just give me like $5 trillion, we will completely automate the entire economy and solve the housing crisis. Like what? Why not? If there's some people who will believe you and give you $1 million or $1 trillion, and why not? I'm sure he's optimistic and that some things will improve, but I don't know. We seem to be the number of contradictions are growing. Like we keep talking about how there's going to be no jobs, and people are going to get depressed because they have no work to do and stuff. But the reality is the opposite. There's so much work to do to meet the needs of survival. It just keeps increasing. I'm from Eastern Europe, but live in USA right now. All my friends who are in software or cyber have stable, high-paying jobs there. But in USA, nobody can land a job. Yeah, I don't know, I guess that may be indicative of like the high volatility between Europe and the US. From what I understand of like European job culture is people make less money in Europe, but things are slower paced and like kind of more stable. I guess that's the way it's been historically. But in the US, the salaries historically have been way higher, but everything's like way more fast paced. And like I think I've heard of people saying that they came from Europe, or like they came from the US and went to Europe, and they found that they would have meetings and like people just wouldn't show up, or they show up late, and like it was really slow to get work done. But that may be indicative of maybe because of that, like the volatility, that the high salary times might be over, and now it's going to crash for a while, and maybe it'll stay low for a few years, and then it'll go back up again. Staying around Hollywood and Santa Monica. Yeah, I guess if you stay in like the touristy areas and stuff, areas like public areas where lots of people go, it's probably all right. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure there's like areas with lots of homeless and stuff like that, but it's also California seems like a very it's way more laid back. Like I would say pretty much anywhere else, like you might not really want to get too close to like random homeless people and stuff. But I remember from when I was in San Francisco, the vibe was kind of like just like a lot of people were just behaving like homeless. Like there was random people who just like lived in the park, and they were just, mining. And they're just like camping outside all day. I know Los Angeles is also like very impersonal too. I've heard a lot of people say like Los Angeles is very lonely. They move there for like, they want to be a famous actor or something like that, but then they move there and it's like things are a lot more like transactional. Everyone's kind of like shallow and just wants to like, get their 15 minutes of fame and get rich, and there's not a lot of like it's probably like not the best place to look for like a life partner or something. I think everything is outsourced. All of them working in American companies. Everything in America is outsourced, you mean? Yeah, I think the world in America also is really in flux. Like where I think kind of an underrated thing is that I think right now we're basically suffering withdrawal from like all the money printing that we did with COVID. So COVID happened, and then they printed insane amounts of money, and there was stimulus and stuff. Like if you look at do like a Google search for bankruptcies over time in like the US or Canada or wherever, and like intuition would make you say like, oh well, during COVID lots of companies went bankrupt, they shut down. But if you look at the graph of like bankruptcy filings, like that's the actual like financial liquidation of stuff, when COVID happened, bankruptcies dropped very, very low to like historic lows, and then it stayed low, and it's been low, and now it's actually starting to pick up. So the actual like financial mark to market cleanup of all that stuff is It's just happening today. And that's filtering through the economy. It's going to take a while. Very nerdy of me. Gonna make a location, the first YouTube video ever filmed, and recreate it. And that's a fun novelty idea. Yeah, you'll have to make it a. I think that would make for a good YouTube video. People would watch that. I think having a. If you have a specific objective to, you're probably a lot more likely to have a good time. Okay, let's think about my crash. So I think my issue is I'm overwriting the player character. Oh yeah, and this also is going to break the placing of blocks. Me at the zoo, April 23, 2005. That's the one where he's talking about the elephants, how they have long trunks. I wonder if anyone else has recreated that video yet. You might be the first. This is more complicated than I remember. I guess I'll have to refactor this. What project are we working on? The general answer is the terminal block mining simulation game. Currently, I'm fixing some bugs that I introduced by I made a substantial change to the model, which is that the player itself is now a block in the world that has to move around or take up space. And I introduced a bug where actually if you try to mine stuff, it's overwriting that. I can't remember. Can I have holes? So I guess I'm assuming that it's completely full. There's no spaces. So this method no longer works. The method is not correctly named. Now return to the void. What does that mean? Thing I do? I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean by that. It's kind of annoying because I have like 3 different behaviors here. Now it jump streams. Oh, you mean you're like going in and out of different live streams? Let's see what happens if I run this. Yep, just as I expected. I didn't fix the main bug I was looking to fix. Then I found another bug, which I just fixed. I think I fixed. Yeah, I am 99.9% confident the existing bug still is there. Actually, this, now that I think about it, if I try to place a block, that'll probably also crash. Let's try that now. Yep. That's because what it is, it overwrote the player. Before, before the way it worked was the player was just like an overlay over top of the map, but now I've made the player an actual block in the world, so it occupies the same. So that has new ramifications. I'm gonna have to change the block placing algorithm. I guess that'll make it hard to control where you're placing the block. I don't know. Long term, maybe I'll be able to figure some other, like a more sophisticated way of actually placing controlling where you place blocks. And the other thing is when you mine out to a large radius. Before I was just setting the whole thing to empty, but now when you do that, it overwrites the player. Are you supposed to place left, right, under, down? I think historically, like the way it works right now is it just takes the current player position and places the block, one block right under that. It's not really like a relevant feature in the game. It's just, but it's I'm going to keep it working just so there's like a kind of reference implementation, and eventually I'll maybe make like some actual gameplay mechanic out of it. But yeah, I guess I'll probably just have to refactor my function and make it a little bit smarter so it doesn't overwrite the player every time. Yeah, I'll do that maybe tomorrow night when I have a dedicated hour to think about that. But yeah, continuing with my recent trend, been doing shorter streams, so we'll call it a night, and then we'll be back tomorrow night. I think it's day 131. You can't tell now because you can't see my title because YouTube changed the UI. All right, have a good night, guys.